Good morning, students. In this video, we will be continuing the lesson World of Microbes. The topic is bacteria. So, as I said already, the microorganisms are bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi, and algae. So, we'll see each of them separately. So, I'll be starting with the bacteria. So, bacteria are microscopic organisms. It is a single-celled prokaryotic organisms. So, the microorganisms can be seen only through the microscope, as bacteria, a microorganism, is also seen only through the microscopes. It is a unicellular organisms. It doesn't have a nucleus. Also, it is not having other cell organelles like ribosomes, plasma membrane, cytoplasms, etc. So, the majority of bacterial species exist as a single-celled form. Okay, so mostly the bacteria will be appearing in a single-celled form. If the bacteria is looking as a grouped one, then we will say that the colonies which is present near the bacteria are grouping together, but it is made of a single cell. So the prokaryotic structure, when it comes to bacteria, there will be a prokaryotic structure. The components will be of macromolecules such as DNA, RNA, proteins, polysaccharides, phospholipids, or some combinations. Okay, we'll say that the macromolecules are made up of primary subunits such as nucleotides, amino acids, and sugars. So the macromolecules, when we come into macromolecules, so what will be that? There will be proteins, polysaccharides, phospholipids, and nucleic acids. So nucleic acid is nothing but it is a DNA or maybe the RNA. The genetic material is called as the nucleic acids. So what is the main primary subunit? When we come for a protein, the main subunit will be amino acid. So where it is found in the bacteria? Amino acid. Where it is found in a bacteria? It is found in the flagella, cell walls, or in the cytoplasmic membranes. So when we go for a polysaccharide, the primary subunit will be sugars, that is carbohydrates. It is found in capsules or cell walls. So the next macromolecule is phospholipids. The primary subunit will be fatty acids, and it is found in the membranes. Then we go for a nucleic acid, DNA or RNA. It is nucleotides will be the primary subunit here. Then when we go for a DNA, the chromosome, it may found in chromosome or plasmids. When we go for RNA, it may be found in a cytoplasm or ribosomes. So bacteria are a single-celled organisms. It has a rigid cell wall. As I said already, it can be seen only under a microscopes. So the microscope can enlarge an image from 100 to 1000 times. So now coming to the size of a bacteria. So usually the size varies from less than 1 to 10 micrometer in length and 0.2 to 1 micrometer in width. Note it down, it is a very important thing. The size varies from less than 1 to 10 micrometer in length and 0.2 to 1 micrometer in width. So the bacteria may be motile or non-motile. So it may be movable or immovable. So motile in the sense it may be movable or immovable. So it has a special structure called flagella. Okay, we could see there is a two hair-like structure, a length rope-like structure which is located on the top of the bacterial cell, and that is called flagella. It is found on the cell surface. It is used for mortality. It is used for the movement of bacteria. It helps to move bacteria from one place to another place. So it is the simple explanation of bacteria. We'll see now the uses of bacteria. So how are the bacteria useful to us? So bacteria are also helpful because it decomposes organic waste such as vegetable peels, animal remain and feces, etc. Okay, it is also used in the preparation of medicine. It increases soil fertility by fixing nitrogen. As I said today, it is fixing the nitrogen in the atmosphere. It is used in setting of curd and making cheese, pickles and other food items. So let me ask you a question. How is curd formed? You just think of it. When your mother pours milk on the previous day night, it will be turning into curd on the next day. How it is possible? A bacterium called lactobacillus, which is multiplying in milk, and it is converting your milk into curd. Okay. So there is a bacteria called a gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Okay. So let me tell you now about the shapes of a bacteria. So bacteria come in a myriad of shapes. So the three main shapes of bacteria are coccus, spiral and bacillus. Kindly underline the words. The three main shapes of bacteria are coccus, spiral and bacillus. So let me tell you about each of them separately. So first we'll see about the spherical shaped bacteria. So the spherical shaped bacteria is also called as cocci. So cocci are bacteria that are spherical or ovoid in shape. Some cocci remains attached after the binary fission even though the separate cells have been formed. For example, diplococci or cocci in pairs. When it is come into a pairs, we call it as diplococci. And streptococci or chains. When the cocci, the bacteria are looking in the form of a chain, we call it as streptococci. And staphylococci, it is a cluster, a bunch of multiple cocci is called as staphylococcus. Okay, so the arrangement of 4 cocci are cubes of 8 cocci. Okay, so the spherical shaped bacteria are called as cocci. For a single cell we call it as coccus. Then rod shaped bacteria. So the spiral bacteria are called as the name suggests, it is called as spiral shape. So the spirillums are thick and tough spirals. So some of the spirals are thin and flexible. Okay, there are comma shaped rods with a small twist, and that is called as rod shaped spiral shaped bacteria. So the spiral shaped bacteria is called as spirilla. We call it as spirillum for a single cell. Then we go for a bacilli. It is a rod shaped bacteria like cocci, bacilli. It can be solitary or arranged together. So this rod shaped bacteria is called as bacilli, and we call it as bacillus for a single cell. For a single bacteria we call it as bacillus. So I'd like to tell you some examples of bacteria. When we go for E. coli bacteria, you might have heard about it. E. coli is one of a common species of bacteria. It is a bacillus shaped and found naturally in the intestines of many animals, including humans. So it produces vitamin K and B complex vitamins, E. coli bacteria. So E. coli is also often used in laboratory research since it reproduces quickly and is hardy one. Okay, so the strains is E. coli is harmless to human, but some of them can cause infections. Okay, so E. coli infections may cause the gastrointestinal problems like diarrhea and it also may bring you to the severe cases. So the next one is lactobacillus. It is also a bacillus shaped one. Okay, it is found in places like intestine and vagina, where it is protecting against harmful bacteria. It is protecting the human body against harmful bacteria. It is a probiotic one. Okay, so a bacterium found in certain foods like yogurt and other fermented foods that is consumed in order to help absorb nutrition and replenish to the body's supply of good bacteria. It can also be consumed in small amounts by the people with lactose intolerance. Those who are in a void of lactose can consume it in small amounts. Okay, so these are the two helpful bacteria of human. Now let me talk about the harmful bacteria. So some bacteria can be harmful, such as the Clostridium botulinum. It is a harmful bacteria, the bacteria that causes botulism. So the Clostridium botulinum produces the neurotoxin, which is responsible for the symptoms of botulism. Okay, the symptoms includes the blurred vision, nausea, trouble breathing, muscle weakness, and paralysis. Okay, so it is the deadliest known toxin. Okay, just 1 kilogram of botulinum would be deadly enough to kill the entire human population. It is very, very harmful one. So now we'll see the do you know, which is in your book, textbook, page number 259. Anton von Leeuwenhoek, the first microbiologist, underline the word, the first microbiologist, designed the own microscope. He is the one who designed his own microscope. Okay, in 1674, he took plague from his own teeth and observed it under the microscope. There will be a plague in the teeth, in human teeth. He took it out and observed under the microscope. He was astonished by seeing many tiny organisms moving around, moving here and there. So that he concluded the microorganisms are invisible to naked eye. Then we'll go for a structure of a bacterial cell. So bacterial cell has a cell membrane. Okay, as I said already, it has a cell membrane. It is covered by a strong and rigid cell wall, very hardest cell wall. Bacterial has a very hardest cell wall. In some bacteria, the outside cell wall, there is an additional slimy protective layer called the capsule. Okay, so apart from the cell wall, in some bacteria we can find the extra layer called capsule, which is very thin comparing to the cell wall. Okay, which is called capsule, and that is made up of polysaccharides. So polysaccharide is nothing but it is a sugar molecules are called polysaccharides. So the plasma membrane encloses the cytoplasm. So plasma membrane, what is plasma membrane? So plasma membrane is also called the cell membrane. It is the membrane that is found in all the cell, which is separating your inner cell from the outside environment. It is just a layer, okay, that is called the plasma membrane. So here the plasma membrane is enclosed with the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid which is fully surrounding the bacteria. It is also having the incipient nucleus, that is nucleoid. A nucleus, so it is called as nucleoid. So it is also having the ribosomes. So ribosome is having two main functions when it comes to a cell, which is acting like a passing message, information passings. Okay, so it is also mainly playing a role in the production of protein. It is the site of production of protein synthesis. Okay, so and the DNA, which serves as a genetic material. These are the main important components present in the bacterial cell. Okay, so as I said already, ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis, from where the protein is produced for the movement of a bacteria. So they lack a membrane bound organelles. So the membrane bound organelles in the sense that is nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus and mitochondria. These are the membrane bound organelles. So what is the function of membrane bound organelles? So it has several advantages to eukaryotic cells. Since it is a prokaryotic cell, so the membrane bound organelles are not in the bacteria. Okay. So they lack, in addition to this, a small extra chromosomal circular DNA called plasmid. It is found in the cytoplasm. A plasmid is nothing but it is a circular DNA which is found only in the bacterial cell. It is not found in the human cell, which is found only in the bacterial cells. It is mainly used for the genetic engineering purposes. It is also mainly used for the cloning purposes. Okay. So shall we recall again? So bacteria are a single-celled organisms. They lack organelles such as chloroplast and mitochondria, and they do not have the true nucleus which is found in the eukaryotic cells. Okay. So instead of that, the DNA, the double strand that is continuous and circular, which is located in a nucleus, which is located in the cytoplasm. So it is irregularly shaped region that does not have a nuclear membrane. Okay, so bacteria also have a cell membrane and a cell wall that is often made of peptidoglycan. Together, the cell membrane and cell wall are referred to as the cell envelope. Many bacteria need a cell wall in order to survive. Okay. So the reproduction occurs through the binary fission, which is splitting of a bacterial cell after it reaches a certain sizes. Okay. So we saw about the shapes of a bacteria. The three main shapes are cocci, spiral and spherical shaped one. Okay. So Anton van Leeuwenhoek is the first microbiologist who designed his own microscope. Okay. Let me tell you the definition of a bacteria. So bacteria is a single-celled microorganisms with prokaryotic cell, which are single cell that do not have a cell organelles and a true nucleus. They are less complex than the eukaryotic cells. So bacteria with a capital B refers as the domain bacteria. Okay. So bacteria are extremely numerous, and the total biomass of bacteria on earth is more than all plants and animals combined. Okay. So thank you, children.